What is up, awesome people? Welcome back to my channel. Joshua Partugi here. In today's video, I will answer one of the most common questions that I get in my Scrum.org trainings. That is, when the development team finish all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint, what should they do? All development teams should ask these 5 questions that I will explain shortly whenever they finish all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint. If you're curious about what the development team should ask each other, stay on this video. If we summarize the Scrum Guide as one sentence, Scrum is about delivering a done increment every single sprint. The first question the development team should ask each other if they completed all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint is, by the end of the sprint, will we really have a done increment that can be released to the production environment immediately? For teams who do not have a strong definition of done, it's possible that the increment has not yet been tested by the user because there is a separate user acceptance test outside of the sprint. It's also possible that the governance process has not yet been done because people from governance also work outside of the sprint. It's also possible that the team has not yet written the test automation code or the deployment automation code because the development team is only focused on delivering the features. If that is the case, then the development team should focus on getting a done increment according to the definition of done with high standards. Many people in the industry think that the definition of done is the same as acceptance criteria. Because of that reason, I've made a video about the definition of done. If you haven't watched that video, click the link up here to watch the video. A Scrum is a continuous improvement-based product development framework. The second question the development team should ask each other when they completed all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint is, have we completed all of our retrospective commitments that we discussed during the previous sprint retrospectives? According to Scrum Guide, the previous sprint retrospective commitments are part of the current sprint backlog. In Scrum, the sprint backlog is not just about completing tasks, but also about implementing continuous improvements. The development team in Scrum are creative workers rather than feature factory workers. A Scrum is a goal-driven framework rather than a feature-driven framework. The third question the development team should ask each other if they completed all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint is, by the end of the sprint, will we really achieve the sprint goal that we agreed with the product owner during this sprint planning? As a follow-up question, the development team should also ask each other, will our work completed achieve an outcome by the end of this sprint? And what metrics do we use to measure that outcome? I've made a video on outcome-driven sprint goal because I've worked with so many teams who either don't have a sprint goal or the sprint goal is very output-oriented. If you haven't watched my video on outcome-driven sprint goal, click the link up here to watch the video. According to Scrum Guide, the development team in Scrum spend at least 10% of their sprint to refine the upcoming product backlog items before the next sprint planning. The fourth question the development team should ask each other if they completed all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint is, have we refined all of the upcoming product backlog items as such it's ready for the next sprint planning? During the product backlog refinement session, the development team can look at the product backlog items for the upcoming sprints that have not yet been estimated, have not yet been broken down into smaller sizes, and do not have any clarity. For any product backlog items that are not clear, the development team can ask for clarification either from the product owner or directly from the users. During the product backlog refinement session, the development team can also inspect if there are any dependencies that they might have missed. The last question the development team should ask each other if they completed all of the planned sprint backlog before the end of the sprint is, have we still got any technical debt that we need to pay? Many organizations don't have a good understanding about technical debt. Many organizations think that a technical debt is the same as a defect. Many organizations still underestimate the effect of technical debt to their business. Because of those reasons, I've made a video on technical debt. If you haven't watched my video on technical debt, click the link up here to watch the video. So let's wrap it up. If the development team are really confident that, firstly, there will be a done increment that can be released to the production environment by the end of the sprint. Secondly, there will be an outcome-driven sprint goal achieved by the end of the sprint. Thirdly, the previous sprint retrospective commitments are all completed. Fourthly, the upcoming product backlog items are refined and ready for the next sprint planning. And lastly, the product they developed does not have any more technical debt. If that is the case, which is very rare, the development team can ask the product owner if they can pull additional product backlog items to the current sprint. If they cannot tick all of those 5 checkboxes I have just mentioned, it's much more preferred to focus on getting those 5 checkboxes ticked every single sprint. It takes discipline and mastery to be consistent in getting all of those 5 checkboxes ticked every single sprint. So, that is all from me today, folks. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you find it helpful, don't forget to smash that like button, or you can also buy me a coffee using the link up here. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you until my next video. Until then, stay safe and Scrum on!